Okay, so Joe, you were very involved out there throwing footballs to the DBs in the guys' faces before and every average snap. Is that the style you've always had? And if so, is that natural? Or did you get it from some coach you played for?
No, I think that's kind of my personality, But I think I'm very hands-on. I'm very enthusiastic. But I think that's obviously my style and the way I coach. But it's also I'm kind of that way in the hallways during the day at work. So that's just who I am. I'm very hands-on, And
speaking of style, guys have said I think this defense is a little different from last year's 3-4 because it's more attacking. Is that a fair thing? How would you like this defense to be characterized?
Well, we're aggressive. I would absolutely say that. It's hard to do a lot in OTAs right now. Just because of the rules, we can't really do a lot. But we're really stressing effort. We're really stressing playing fast, playing with good fundamentals, having our knees bent, sprinting to the ball. Things like that. In OTAs, when you can't do a lot of the physical stuff, we're going to be physical with our effort and playing really fast and playing really hard. So, yes, it is something that we'll stress and we'll continue to stress.
And Preston Smith had a nice bat down, if I'm not mistaken, today. What in general are you seeing out of him? What would you like to see more of?
Well, I think, I think Scott McLuhan and Bruce Allen and Coach Gruden, our whole scouting staff, I think we had a very successful free agency. We brought some new pieces in here. Obviously, in the draft is no different. I think they did a great job, and to get Preston where we got him, we were very excited. But he's a good, young, talented kid, and it's I'm sure his head's spinning a little bit right now, like most rookies. But he comes to work every day, and he's doing a great job. And after what's today? After 5 OTAs, I'm really excited with where he's at.
Your D-backs have size and they seem rangy. Are you looking for guys that are interchangeable, maybe could give you some coverage as safety and move over to corner as well?
Well, no. I mean, I think, corners are corners, safeties are safeties. But, we ask, respectively, both sets, both our corners and our safeties, we ask them to do a lot. So we ask them to blitz, we ask them to cover, we ask them to play zone coverage, we ask them to defend the run. So, yes, interchangeable in that sense, but no, our corners are going to play corner, our safeties are going to play safety.
Now that you're in your second batch of OTAs, how do you feel like the guys are assimilating your system and learning it? Are you happy with their progress in that regard?
It's a process, but the way we have the off-season set up is that, it's in phases. So we have phase 1, which is a series of meetings. We have phase 2, which is meetings, and then we actually get out on the field a little bit with the guys. Then obviously phase 3 is the OTAs. So we tried to install everything with them in phase 1, then go back and reinstall with them in phase 2. So this is really the third time that it's been installed with them, but it's brand new. It's a different language. That's from system to system. That's the biggest difference is the terminology. What guys have maybe been considering apples. Now we're calling it oranges, and they got to change it over in their head a little bit. So it's just the terminology, But we're, like I said, I love where we're at right now.
Joe, I'm not sure if you were asked about it earlier. David Amerson, it seems like he's getting a lot of run, plenty in nickel on the outside, which is kind of what we expected. What have you seen out of him? And from a mental, side of it, do you think that he is beyond whatever struggles he had last year?
Yeah, and one thing that you're going to get with me, guys, is that I'm a look through the windshield guy. I'm never going to look in the rearview mirror. So, David and every other player, I've been around him for 2 months, and that's what I'm judging everything on. And he's been outstanding in everything that he's done so far. He's been here the entire off season. He's been great in the meeting room, taking notes, learning it. So again, after 5 practices, I'm very happy with where he's at. Now I want him to continue to develop, no question about it, because he's a young, talented kid. There's no doubt about it. So, but where he's at right now, I'm pleased with his progress, no doubt.
You got kind of the other thing you noticed just looking at the defense, a lot of multiple fronts, just guys all over the place. How are they doing in picking that up? You got 40 some odd guys you got to get lined up in the right spot. How are they doing picking that up?
Again, I think it's definitely a process, and we're in the 5th OTA, of the off season. So we have we have good plays during the day and we have bad plays during the day, but that's what we're here for. We're teachers. We're that's the number one thing that as a coach that you got to do. You got to teach. So it's definitely a process. But like I said, there's a lot more good out there right now than bad, and I'm very happy with where we're at as a unit.
With this being a 3-4 defense, was there any discussion when you came in or when you were interviewing about changing that, and kind of what's your personal preference in that regard?
Yeah, not with me, and I've been, I think we're going to have the ability to, be multiple, and jump in and out of 4-3 fronts, 3-4 fronts. But we're structurally based out of a 3-4. There's no doubt about it. But, I wouldn't go as far as saying, it's kind of the trendy word to say hybrid, these days. I wouldn't go that far, but we are very multiple, and we're going to give you a bunch of different looks, when we are in our base group and when we are in our subgroups.
A lot of changes to the defensive staff. Can you just talk about the staff in general, how you guys are gelling? I know you guys are meeting a ton. Just how's that work so far?
It's really been good. I couldn't be more pleased with the staff that Jay's put together. To get a guy like Perry Fuel, who has unbelievable experience, and I got all the respect in the world for. We've gotten to be very close over the last 15 years. Rob Akey is Rob Akey's been a head coach before. Was a defensive coordinator at Washington State. So what he brings to the table also is very impressive. And then you guys all know Kirk Avedati. We got to be very good friends over the years being linebacker coaches. So a chance to work with him. And then we got two young coaches that I think are outstanding in Chad Grimm and Aubrey Pleasant. So I love our staff. I love where we're at. Those guys are, just like players. They got to learn a new system also. And it hadn't been much of an off season this year for us, because we've been having in season like hours, but they've done a great job. I couldn't be more pleased with the staff.